All right. The Delphi case. So let's recap. What kind of evidence or clues did the police leave? Well, at first they came out and said the guy appears older than he really is and sometimes younger than he really is. Hmm. And then we skip forward to that one police interview where they say the guy might have made dramatic changes in his appearance or the things that he does. Meaning, I believe they said drugs, drinking again, doing things, that they normally uh, didn't do or whatever. That's interesting. So a lot of people are thinking that the bridge guy left not the way that the witnesses said that he left. And that makes sense. If you were going to do such a brutal murder, here's the one thing that have to all realize is there was people out there on the trails as the murders were occurring. Okay. But yet, no, everyone said they didn't hear anything. But they seen they gave two different IDs on the guy. Hmm. Do I think he left the same way he came in? No. No. And here's the thing. They don't know where he came in really. They're saying that he came in from the bridge or the trail there on the east side of the bridge. I don't think so. Why would he be out in the open? It would make more sense to use either a house that was around there or the cemetery. Now, how do they know that there was a car parked at the CPS building? That's it. Why didn't they release the color of this vehicle, the photo of it? You know, was it a truck? Was it a car? How do they know that there was a vehicle parked there? There had to be some kind of a footage from either satellite or the plant that was across from the CPS that might have picked up a vehicle. But how would they know there was a vehicle there? It was an abandoned building. Something ain't adding up. Do I think Keegan Klein and Tony Klein play a hand in it? Yeah, yeah. Do I think other people had a hand in it? Yeah. I think there was more than what they think. And here's the thing. I'm not buying this whole thing that the authorities took Anthony Greeno's cell phone because the killer killed him. They would have gave him his phone back by then. They gave people's phones and iPads back after they were done uh, getting the information that they needed. They offered the cell phone and the iPads back to the people that bought them from uh, Keegan Klein or whatever his name was. So I'm not buying it. I'm not buying that. The killer called Anthony Greeno. That's why the police took his phone, because they would, if that's true, they would have took the data off of the phone and gave it back to Greeno like they offered the other people. So that story ain't making sense. Now, why did Sean Harmon boot Scoot Boogie and dramatically change his appearance? Well, if you see the photo of him and his father on Facebook standing next to each other, uh, he kind of looks like the dude. See, that's a long 2017. There's people saying in photos that were shown that Sean Harmon didn't look the way he did. He had more weight on him, and so we don't know about that. You know, Chadwell. Well, Chadwell was caught red-handed, so we know Chadwell is that kind of person. We know that Chadwell fits the MO of Bridge Guy and the killer. The thing is putting him there. Does he have the same gait as Bridge Guy? Yeah. Does Tony Klein or Tony Klein have the same gait? Yeah, and stance. So does Keegan Klein. Here's what I'm saying. If it is true that he was a dope dealer, he dealt pot and other things, because there's photos of that, of white powder or whatever. Could he have? The heat got put on him, and he said, you know, he knew about the girls, but he wasn't there or whatever. I don't know. Supposedly they gave him a lie detector test and he passed it. That he did talk to the girls, but he wasn't there. And do we know if that's true or not? Well, I bet you all these dudes knew each other. And you know what? I would have believed Greeno's story. Hey, maybe the killer called him trying to get a story. But here's the thing. Either Greeno was lying, or it was more than just the killer called him. Because if that's true, and Anthony Greeno was completely innocent, had nothing to do with it, the police would have gave him the phone back after they took the data off of it. They would have gave him his phone back if he was completely innocent. Hey, I'm an investigating crime, bail bondsman, yada yada, all the things that he said. I'm sure they would have took the data off of it and gave him the phone back. But Greeno says they refused to give him his phone back. Now, Greeno is a proven fact that he's done meth and cannabis and stuff like that. The cannabis, who cares? But he's been known to meth or whatever. From what people were saying in the reports or whatever, that he was a habitual offender of methamphetamine and cannabis or whatever. Now, I don't know if that's true because it's on YouTube. It could be actually a creator creating these documents. We don't know. Probably not, but so we know Chadwell is a definite MO for a crime like that. Okay? He almost killed a 9-year-old girl chained up in his basement. He raped her and the dog attacked her and he did sick stuff. So we know he fits the MO. But here's the thing. You got to wrap all these dudes up into one thing. The Keegan Kline talking to the girls, he could have lured them there. So maybe they were planning to kidnap them. Who knows? Like Chadwell kidnapped, but it got out of hand. Maybe they didn't die right away. That's why no one found them that night. They didn't find them until the early afternoon or whenever it was the next day. So is it possible that the reason they didn't find them that night was because they weren't there? Maybe they kidnapped them and brought them back. That is possible. I believe that would be possible. Maybe Kline got word. Maybe Kline was the one that the girl's father was an informant. Maybe he was the one that ratted on him. You know, both families supposedly were mixed up with things. So it could have been something like that. Now, Sean Harmon keeps saying it's his dad and his son, but his dad don't fit. Bridge guy. You know, they're saying Bridge guy is 5'10", 5'9", anywhere between 5'7", 5'6", to 5'9" to 5'10", I think. So, you know, it's the information that we're getting from the authorities that is throwing everybody off. What do I think? I think they should have released all the evidence they had, the full video, the full recording, and the crime scene photos of actually what had happened. Because they're saying that their bodies were carved into and their stomachs were, and their throats were, and the fingers were missing. And, you know, you got Sean Harmon saying that the girls were penetrated with sticks and other things, and there was stuff carved into their bodies and yada, 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 yada. How did he know that when that wasn't released from the police? Not until recently. I don't know. But I know one thing, the phone and Anthony Greeno don't make sense. If he was completely innocent of anything, and it was really the killer that called him, they would have took the data off of the phone to look at the number and would have gave him his phone back. and said if he calls you again, call us. Matter of fact, they probably would have gave him. They probably were tapping his phone. If they had any suspicion that it was really the killer, I believe they would have tapped his phone and said if he calls back, we'll be listening. You know, people are saying, well, the FBI called me and I talked to the FBI. The FBI don't call people. You know, they might call you to tell you we're coming over. You know, it ain't making sense. The whole thing. It ain't making sense. So I don't know. It just keeps getting crazier every day with that case. I think it's a bunch of people had a hand in it. It just ain't making sense how these people. Uh, and here's another thing. Here's a big thing. If it was just one person, one man, and it was just the two girls out there, why did he say guys? That don't make sense. He's what, he walks up on two girls. Don't you think he would have said girls down the hill? A lot of weird things. Now they're saying there's only 49 seconds of the video. That's not true. If the girls succumb to death on that video, 49 seconds, you can't get to that bridge to where the girls were found in 49 seconds. It ain't adding up. It's not adding up. And that's what the police were saying. Now, when this case first came out, I was under the impression that there was 39 minutes of footage and recording. Either it was 49 minutes of recording or 40 or 39 minutes. That was the original recording. And the police said that the girls succumbed to, that they believe that the girls succumbed to death on that tape. That's why they didn't release it, because it was too gory. It was too horrible. So it didn't happen in just 49 seconds. The clip we're seeing, there's a lot more of that clip. And the reason the police said they won't let us see it is because it was too gory and the girls succumbed to death on that tape. But a lot of it ain't making sense. And then Doug Carter says the guy is older, but appears younger. He's younger and appears older than what he seems. Well, what are we dealing with? Is this the devil? What are we talking? It can't be two people in one. It could be if they're psychosis and able to change that fast. But whole thing ain't making sense. And then what did they say? At the beginning of this case, the killer had reddish brown curly hair. That was curly. I looked. for that. I don't know. That Greeno knew Sean Harmon. They were chatting back and forth through social media. Then Sean Harmon made a video saying Greeno tried to tell him to keep his mouth shut or whatever, and wouldn't let Sean talk or whatever. How did these guys know all that information when that wasn't released? That the girls were all carved up with stuff on their bodies. Was it all lies that they created just for views and subs? Who knows? But there's a reason why Anthony Greeno, did not get his phone back. When there was other people that bought phones and iPads from Keegan Kline, and they got their stuff back after they got the data off of it. So why didn't they give Greeno his phone back? There had to be something else other than just the killer called him. I've been listening to that recording too. And there's, they should have let us listen to the whole thing. A little clip like that, you're not going to get too much. Now, if that dude keeps talking, then it might pop into someone's head. These dudes are, and if they would have let us listen to the whole thing, we would be able to tell if it was tampered with, meaning edited in any way. If there was any editing in the recording or video. But with such a small clip, it's hard with what they gave the people. I understand what they're saying. We could match some of it to some of these people, but in order to really do it, you need more than 40 or 39 seconds of a recording. And I agree with the professionals on that, but there are similarities in the voices that we are watching on YouTube and the recording. My opinion. And Greeno does have a violent past, and methamphetamines and drinking real bad. Harmon, drugs. He's crazed. He's attacked people before and made videos that he slept with his own cousins and stuff. A lot of people seen them videos. Greeno breaking down on, a lot of these crime people, they know each other through collaboration and stuff. So it is interesting. Here's the thing. These guys might have been picked up for nothing about Delphi, but were picked up and questioned because they were kiddie porn people and had connections through Klein, maybe, and fit the M. We know one thing for sure. Chadwell is definitely a suspect because the things he did after February 13th, 2017 are the same MO as what Abby and Libby's are looking like. And I believe if the police didn't find that little girl, they probably would have either used her, like he was saying, with his club or whatever, or one of them girls on YouTube were saying some guy that hung around with all them guys, some club or something. Now, I don't know if that's true, but that's the information I've seen on YouTube. So if that is true, well, we know that Chadwell probably would have killed that 9-year-old after he raped her or whatever, or they would have turned her into some kind of a sex slave amongst the club or gang or whoever he belonged to. Uh, like that one lady on YouTube was saying that she uh, slept with a lot of them guys because she was a lady of the night, a professional woman. So that might be true. She's lucky to be alive if she was amongst these guys, the Kirks, the Kleins, the Chadwells, the Greenos or whatever. We don't know. We don't know. But I'll tell you one thing right now. It ain't. It don't look good. The whole thing with they just would not return Greeno's phone. Till this day, he don't have it. That's something. It ain't right. So he's somewhere. His story ain't ending up because they would have returned the phone. They would have tapped it, if anything. They would have tapped that number. And if the killer would have called again, they would have had him. But they didn't. They don't take the phone hoping the guy calls. And someone other than Greeno answers the phone. It ain't me. And I don't know. Something just ain't adding up there. And then all this stuff with Sean Harmon and Greeno, all the videos, and Sean Harmon saying it's his dad and his son. And if it was his dad and his son, now his son does look like the second sketch, but the first sketch don't. The first sketch looks, some people are saying it looks like Harmon. Which Harmon? We don't know. We don't have all the evidence. But it's fishy to me. Why would he say guys down the hill when if it was just two girls, why wouldn't he said girls down the hill? Well, that's fishy. Chadwell, he used guys, the term before in his videos. So we know he's a suspect, at least. I'm not taking him off the table. Because we know they've already caught him red-handed with a 9-year-old chained up in his basement. So, the videos Sean Harmon made, saying he slept with his young cousins or whatever, experimenting or whatever, and then I think Boot Scoop boogied out of Indiana real fast. So, yeah, I think they all were all part of a gang down there, probably drugs and sex and all kinds of sick stuff. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but yeah, I didn't make these guys make videos of themselves breaking down and crying and Greeno's asking for another YouTuber's help and crying and help me, and no one could help him when it's once the authorities lock in on you like that, there ain't nothing you could do. It just don't make sense. They wouldn't give him his phone back. But then I seen other videos saying that they talked to people that did get their phones confiscated from Klein and their iPads and stuff. But they were offered them back after the police downloaded the data off of the stuff. So we don't know if that's true, but if it is, why wouldn't they give Greeno his phone back? That, I don't know. You would think if the police would have played it smart, and it really was the killer that called Greeno, they would have put a tap on that phone, and they would have gave the phone back to Greeno and said, talk. Meaning when that dude calls you back again, you talk as much as you can. You make him feel calm. You make him feel like you want to listen to his troubles or whatever. And they would have tapped it. And then they wouldn't have said nothing. And they would have tapped the phone. If they could track it, it would have took time. If it was a hot phone or whatever. But yeah, taking the phone, not giving it back to him, not giving them no answers why they won't give it back to him. That's what Greeno said on his videos. Don't make sense. So something ain't adding up there. Ain't adding up. The whole thing, I think they're onto a bunch of them. One tied one to another, tied another phone to another. One person saying this person deals drugs or whatever. And hey, listen, I live all the way up here up north. Okay. And even in this little town I live in, it's always in the newspaper. The police got a problem with these people. It's a known fact. They travel up and down from south to north, back and forth. But like I said, it's not adding up. It just, the whole thing ain't adding up. And it tells me that there was more than one. Well, I'll tell you what, Klein has the same stance with the hands in his pocket and the walk as Bridge Guy. So does Tony Klein. He has the same gait. And so does Chadwell. He has the same gait too. But the only thing about Chadwell is the voice kind of sounds like him. The way he phrases it kind of sounds like Chadwell. It also sounds, I've heard a couple different recordings, meaning some have been cleaned up and some haven't. Some are real staticky and poppy, and some videos I've seen of that voice. And it could be that's why they took a certain person's. It could be. And here's the thing. If it's what I'm thinking, they might have put out that it was a different kind of charge against them. Why? To protect them, because they know there's people looking for these dudes. Meaning, uh, if someone could turn them in and get to them before the police and get that reward, they probably would. And meaning, other than there's probably people really upset that they killed 2 young girls and possibly more. Uh, Possibly more since then. Yeah, these people are forgetting they could have done this again since 2017. So yeah, it's I think the police are on the right track. I think they're not telling people if they did charge them because they're trying to protect them. They know until they get a real good case built against them, they might be charging them with other crimes for now. Meaning they're working on it, boys. And I bet you there's more to pick up. I bet you there's just more than what we're seeing. You know, heck, I watched Michael Catt. I thought Michael Catt was a cool dude until he made a video saying that the police questioned him on the case. I was like, what the heck? I still watched him afterwards, but the people we were watching probably still today, there's more of them, I bet. There's some people saying it was that Wild Adventures Michael dude. There was another guy saying that it was another guy named Michael. There was another guy saying that it was I forget the guy something I forget the name of the dude. I mean, there's a lot of people saying a lot of things. And is it possible that it was a real ring, a gang, whatever you want to call it? Yeah, it's very possible. It was bigger than what people thought. I'm just finding it hard that there's people on that bridge at the same time that they're saying that the girls were killed, but no one heard nothing. In order for one guy to do that and no one hear any screams from the girls, he would have had to kill the girls in some way silently that made them not scream or anything. And then he must have done the sick things that he did to them. Were there dog bite marks? Now, some say that there was bite marks from a dog on the bodies. I don't know if that's true, but there are some saying there was. Well, they all had dogs. Klein, Chadwell. I think Harmon had a pit bull or some kind of a dog at that time. All these dudes had a pit bull or whatever. So, Dog Lady. What happened to Dog Lady? They should have came out and revealed Dog Lady. She might have been someone that is actually a suspect, and people would have seen her or her photo and said, yeah, that girl's nuts, cuckoo, and she's involved in this and that. And it might have worked. It might have, who was Dog Lady? Where was she? You know, flannel guy, you know, they're saying is some dude, some old millionaire dude that was a kung fu black belt karate champion or something back in his day. But here's the thing, Doug Carter left clues that the killer is older than what he looks, but younger than what he looks. This guy's a shapeshifter. He's changing all the time. Meaning he's an old man, but he looks real young, like Benjamin Bratt or whatever that movie was. Or he's young. He looks young, but he's real older than what he looks. And Doug Carter said, I think that's him. He's nobody. I've seen that interview. He said, I think it's nobody. That was an interesting clue. For one, Doug Carter gets up there, first press release of the police, and says, you might be in this room with us right now. That was a dead giveaway, too. Because there was only so many people there at that press release of a double murder of two girls. It was a police press release. So that was a clue. You might be in the room or close by, and you might be watching us now. So that was a clue that they another thing, a clue was it might be the person that was lying, meaning somebody was tipping off the police and telling them that it was this, that. It was a lie. They were deliberately trying to blame people that the evidence just didn't show that it was them. Now, there's only one person that really was doing that and making videos about it, saying he called the police all the time, the FBI, over and over again. And he was harassing people on YouTube, Facebook, telling the police it was certain people when the police came out and said that wasn't true. And that might have been a clue too, that it might, it might have been Gavitt or whatever his name is, Harmon, but it wasn't his dad. The police had his body DNA. They would have came out by now and said Dennis Harmon was the killer. The police said they had DNA. They would have came out by now. They would have came out and said, we're looking for Sean Harmon's son on TV, and said, we want to question him. Anyone that knows him, turn him in. They didn't. It ain't making sense. There's a lot more people thinking that it was Sean Harmon and his son, possibly. Or just Sean Harmon. But I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know. I don't have the evidence. Another thing is we just don't have a clear photo of Bridge Guy. We only got 39 seconds of a photo that was taken from a moving video. So it's blurry. We're not getting a clear look at the guy. But 39 seconds, what do you want? How much? There's got to be more. Knowing Libby and Abby, if they were that scared, she must have kept the camera running. But that's what I'm saying. If that video, she would have had to have kept it going to where that guy got closer, 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 to where we could definitely see who he was, unless what we've seen is all the video. There is no other video. She put the phone in her pocket or whatever, like they're saying. But we don't know because we haven't seen the whole video. They won't release it all to us because the girls succumbed to death on that video, from what the police say. So I know there's more than 49 seconds because you can't get from the bridge to where the girls were killed in 49 seconds. There's no way. No way. They need to do an experiment out there to see how long it takes to get from on top of that bridge to where the girls were found dead in 49 seconds. I'll believe it that there's only 49 seconds of that video, but I don't think so. I think there's more like 39 minutes, if not longer, of that video. So that's what when this case first came out, that's what they were saying. But now they changed to, well, there's only 39 seconds of the video and there ain't no more. No, that's a lie. There's 39 something minutes of that video. And you know what? I'm not blaming the police, but they could have did a better job, I'll tell you that much. And they definitely could have released. I know it's gory, but you ain't going to solve no crime if you don't have all the evidence. And we don't have all the evidence. We're making theories, our own opinions. Without all the evidence, that's all we could do. Does it look like Mikey from Adventure Wild or whatever that was on Greeno's? Yeah, looks like him. Does it look like Chadwell? Sure does. Does it look like Klein? Well, I don't know. Klein in 2017 supposedly was 250 pounds. 300 pounds, he said, or 2017. So it could be Tony Klein. It could be Sean Harmon, Chadwell. It could be anybody, because we don't have a full, clear photo, and we don't have all the video. That guy must have talked a lot on that video. He had to have. He had to have said something. Excuse me. He had to have said something more than what he did, what we're hearing. And if they would have released that, then somebody might have remembered we know exactly who that idiot is, Here's the people I'm going with. I'm going with Klein, Chadwell, Greeno, Harmon, Kurtz, Carr, all them dudes that were suspects in it. Why? But there's a reason that they were suspects, probably because of their past records and the things they were doing match something that is similar to what happened to Abby and Libby. I don't know. That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. Could this have all been done because they did find out that Abby or Libby's father was an informant for the police, and they retaliated and did that? And how they did it was lure the two girls there with Keegan Klein's phone, and then Keegan Klein might not have been there, but one of these other people were, or probably more than one, maybe. I'm finding it hard though how just one person, they would have had to known that area. They would have had to known that area. What about John Weaver that came out and said the girls were found in the river? And then the police came out and said that's a lie. They were not found in the river. They did troll the river because John Weaver, whoever that was, said that the girls were in the river. How would he have known that? Why would he have said that if he didn't know? A lot of interesting things that were in this case. But the main thing was the sheriff coming out, Carter, and saying, and looking around the room and saying, you might be in this room with us. Or we might have already interviewed you, or you might have already talked to us. That was a key clue for me. And I started looking at people that would match that, meaning they must have talked to somebody, or somebody was talking to them. And it wasn't adding up to the police. The police were like, this ain't adding up. And there's only a couple people on YouTube that fit that description. Let me get to my chat real quick. Hello, Tyron. Oh, Miss Dawkins. Oh, Bendejo's in. How you folks doing? My voice is shot. I sounded pretty good earlier today. I felt great. I'm thinking I'm going to take some more NyQuil tonight. I woke up, I felt great. I really did. I felt great. And then I don't know what happened. But anyways, yeah, there had to be more than one guy. If not, this guy knew what he was doing. He knew that place. And he had to be somewhat in shape. Here's the whole thing. They went down the hill, crossed the creek. Then he killed them, right? From what they're saying. But how did he do that without the girls screaming or anything? Because on the video or on the recording, it kind of sounds like someone's screaming. I'm not getting. What happened to the 20 girls? The 10 or 20 girls that were there, that were seen by the sister when they dropped the girls off. Now, at first, when I heard the recording, I thought it did sound, the first word out of that recording, it did sound a little bit like Greeno. No, I don't know if it is or not. I'm not trying to damage Greenos. There's other people that have already came out and made videos saying that Anthony Greeno is the Delphi killer. Not me. That's other people. But no, it was somewhat there. You have to remember Greeno's voice changes when he's on camera. When he does his whole thing, can't stop, won't stop, or whatever it is. So you have to take that in consideration. I think there's a voice match there with Chadwell, too. But here's the thing. We don't know. Here's another thing. I think the police were led on a goose chase. And I think one of them people that they're talking about is Sean Herman. That's what I'm thinking, because they wouldn't have came out and said, we might have already talked to you, and you might have already talked to us, and we might have already interviewed you, and that was a clue that they were sending a message to somebody that their story wasn't adding up. And that's what I got out of it. I'd arrest them all. I'm like Ted Nugent saying, these guys should have never been let out on the charges that they had them ever, for the violent crimes and all the stuff that they'd done in the past. Yeah. We know it wasn't a gun, okay? Because someone would have heard gunshots. So that means he somehow killed the two girls without making a sound. And there's only two ways of doing that. Taking them out right away with the larynx, or a drowning. Now, is it possible that the killer might have drowned the girls? Therefore, they wouldn't have been screaming because they'd have been underwater. If this was a bigger guy, he could have manhandled the girls, But I'm not thinking that there was any other way, because the girls would have been screaming. Are you kidding me? Once Abby or whoever died first, once the other one would have seen that, she would have went crazy, hysterical, and ran. So the guy must have had him tied up or something. It ain't making sense what they're saying. Two young girls, and no one heard nothing. Not a dang thing. Not a dang thing. And there was witnesses there that said they were on the bridge, and all these people walking on the bridge in the trails, and they didn't hear nothing. Houses around there and everything. They didn't hear nothing. Not a dang thing. They should have released a lot more than what they did. I mean, if you want my opinion, I would have came out with everything, said, here, this is what we got. Here's the crime scene photos. But they couldn't do that because there's only certain people that knew what happened at the murder scene. The police, the FBI, and the killer, and the people that helped find her are the only ones that knew what happened. And let me tell you, there was a lot of leaks. And I don't blame the police. Well, I don't think it was the police that leaked it. I think it was probably the people that found her that were friends and people that were strangers that didn't even know. Now there's videos out there saying the killer was actually there helping look for her. Well, good God, come on. This is the kind of, is it possible? Yep. That should tell you people what kind of a sick world we really live in. Is it possible that the killer killed him and the next day was there helping look for him? Yes. It kind of makes sense, don't it? When the first press release came out, years later, the sheriff saying, we might have already talked to you. You might have already, yeah, that's some weird stuff there. Yep, poor little girls. He knew they wouldn't be heard. I don't know. How do you know he wouldn't know if there was people there? That the only thing I can come up with was Dog Lady was involved in it. She was a lookout or something, or placed there to lie to the police. Flannel Guy. Well, we don't even know if Flannel Guy was there or had anything to do with it. He's a suspect, they're saying. But he had gray, white hair, and he was 70 years old. Granted, he was a black belt expert, but he was 70 some years old. And he had gray hair. Now, you would have seen that gray hair. If Flannel Guy was Bridge Guy, you would have seen the white hair because Flannel Guy had white hair. He was an old man. So the whole thing ain't adding up. They all know the place. All these people that are suspects in this case. Greeno's crew, Mikey Wildlife or whatever, his crew, Chadwell, they all know. Even Herman knew where the place was, supposedly, and his family and everything. And Keegan Klein was only 20, they all knew where that place was. I'm wondering, should they be looking for more bodies out there? This could have been a place where these boys like to have their fun because they knew there was nobody out there. I would have brought them all in. For one, I would have brought Sean Harmon in on false information on a murder case. If it was Harmon, they would have came out and said it by now. He's dead. They would have came out and said it. They had his DNA and everything. They would have came out and said it was Dennis Harmon. I don't think it was Dennis Harmon. His voice don't match. And we've heard his voice. It don't match. You know, they would have came out and said it was Dennis Harmon. They didn't. Greeno, well, he should have been picked up along. He had over 30. I think they both had records that were violent and meth or drugs or heroin and all kinds of crap. Klein, well, they picked him up because he was a kiddie porn dude. You know, they're looking for Tony Klein. Chadwell, well, you know he's getting picked up. They call him red-handed. Chadwell fits the MO. Meaning he's into, you know, I didn't cough all day until I got on this dang internet or started doing this video. Maybe it is something attacking us, like these a couple other creators were something that whenever we start getting into this case, something attacks us. It does. I think so. But they're all suspects in crimes that fit the things that was done to, you know, how did Sean Harmon know that the girls were all carved up with the K on them for the Kingston trio or whatever it was, the Kingston, you know, how did he know all this stuff? And the police didn't even come out and say that, you know, that there was a cross there and K's carved into the trees and the bodies and the, you know, how when the people didn't, I don't know. You know, I don't know. Well, Anthony Greeno was a personal friend of, they're saying, of the grandfather of the girls. They used to go hunting and rode motorcycles together. You know, this whole thing, we don't know if it's true. These are just the videos that we've been watching on YouTube. And the police should have came out with more information. They really should have, because we could have heard the whole recording. I know it would be gory, but you ain't going to solve a case with 39 seconds. You know, so if somebody, maybe something Bridge Guy or the killers said, or the way they acted or the way they talked might have gave more clues to somebody that said, we know the idiot, you know, we'll make sure we take care of him. You know, he will be delivered to the police, but they didn't. They let only 2 things out, 2 small clips. I'm leaning towards these guys that they're getting, and I bet there's more to pick up. You know, and then the police did come out and say, I believe they're right in front of our faces. They're watching us. Well, I believe they are. Same thing in the Summer Wells case. I believe they're watching the social media. And their stories change as the Summer Wells theories come out. Then you see Candace and all them and come out and they start changing their stories or whatever. Same thing with Delphi. I believe they're watching the videos that people are making. And they're changing they're coming up with different things to throw people off. We're on DEFCON 5 around here, man. You know, Klein having ties with the cannabis and drugs and selling it and music. I've seen videos on that. Keegan Kline on stage with a band. That's Keegan Kline. He used to work as something with the music or something. Yeah. Well, it's all falling into place. Drugs, money, sex, kitty porn crap or whatever. Um, but I'm interested to see exactly what happened to them two young ladies. Because if we see what happened, uh, then we might have some of these guys already. You know, how did it, how does Sean Harmon know all this stuff? I think he just watches YouTube, pulls it out of what other people think, and then turns it into his dad. I think he knew his dad was dead a long time ago. That's why he blamed his dad, because he knew that nobody would. He's dead. He's been dead. Sean Harmon just came out, and I don't know how long ago. You know, am I going to hunt down Sean Harmon? No, not unless Carter calls me and says there's a reward. You want to bring him in? Then I might. But it ain't my job. I think they're on to the right guys. Where did John Weaver come into this? Why did he throw people off saying the girls were in the river? You could find the girls in the river. How did he know that? But then again, the police tried to contact somebody. I heard that video that the police wanted confirmation that the girls were found in the river. And the police came back and said, we cannot confirm that we don't know if that's true or not. But supposedly they were not found in the river. Why did he tell people to look in the river and that the girls were found in the river? The stories that have come out, it's doing nothing more than making these people look more suspicious. You know, it's making more people sit back and saying, we're onto something there. The whole thing ain't adding up. These people are the only thing I can think of is they were all in on it as a scam to try and collect that big money. You know, I had no idea there was a reward. Someone just recently came out and said there was a big reward on it. I had no idea about that. Who gives a crap about a reward? We would rather want these idiots off our streets. You know, we don't want it to happen again to some other children. I can't believe how they want people to flock out there. It's like they didn't get caught the first time. So come out to the trail so we can kill some more people. It's unreal. I would have that whole area shut down. No more walking the trails. No, I don't want to go to where some two little girls lost their lives in horror, in absolute terror. And these people are come to the bridge. No, I don't think so, man. I'll remember them two girls with the smiles on their faces in the photos they show, not at where they succumb to a gruesome, terrifying death. And they want people to come out there. I would have had that whole area shut down. I would have fenced it. And then I would have put a fence around where the girls were found. And nobody goes around it. You don't go in. It's an ongoing crime scene. Now it ain't no more. Good God, these dudes have been going out there They're looking for evidence probably that they dropped. I mean, don't that make sense to any of you people? Anyone? An ongoing case, and they didn't close that whole area down where the girls were killed. I would have closed the whole thing down. I would have put cameras up to watch anyone that went back there. Why? Because they were probably, maybe they did drop some evidence. Maybe there was evidence left over. And now there's been so many people draping through there saying that they found stuff. You know, I've seen a video of Randy Gravitt. He said he found something out there while he was searching for the area where the girls were killed. You know, that could have been evidence. I know one thing. If I was running it, I would at least, if I would have said, I'm shutting down that whole area, you put a fence around it, do whatever, you put a guard there. Nobody comes in or out of, or into this place. It's an ongoing crime scene. And if they would have said, nope, you can't do that, then I would have went out there with all kinds of cameras and I would have hit them everywhere. And I would have watched that camera to see if anyone came back to that area looking for anything, something maybe they dropped, maybe DNA that was left behind, or maybe just some sicko that wanted to relive the murders all over again. I mean, these people are nuts. They're crazy. They got to be nuts to go back out there where these two little girls were killed. It's unreal. They're inviting them. For one, the bridge is too dangerous for children to be walking on. Is there anyone out there that has half a brain? They're telling your children to go out there and walk the trails. It's safe. Come out here. It ain't safe. That bridge ain't safe. There's no surveillance. There's no armed guard walking. It ain't safe. This is a bad horror movie that these people want to play out there. Does anybody see that? Or is it just me? Is it normal to go to a place where two little girls were slaughtered? No. Or not even slaughtered. We don't even know if they're telling us the truth on that. Why? Because we don't have the evidence. We don't have the crime scene photos. We don't have the full video. We don't have it. Until we have it, we might not know the truth. I don't know. I got to get some sleep. What time is it? 3 o'clock in the morning. It very well could have been a setup, meaning someone knew that something was going down there. Somebody was being watched, and they did it to try and set someone up. It very well could be that. It very well could be that. It could be one gang against another gang, and they were trying to set each other up. We don't know until we got all the video and all of the evidence. You know? But here's a very good thing that the police did give out, and that this guy's a shapeshifter. He's older than what he looks. he's younger than what he looks, or he might appear older, but he's really younger. So do I have a guy around here? Well, sure. Fits that description to the T. But, and if it's true what they say, no, I don't think the guy is hanging out in Delphi. A lot of people, he's a local guy, and no, no, I don't think so, boys. I think that whoever was involved in that out there probably left Delphi to surrounding areas or back from where they came. You'd have to be an idiot to stay right in the open. And that was a clue. There was only a couple people that were right in the open and on YouTube, right in front of our faces, that bingo was his name-o. Just like the police were saying, they're right in front of our face. We're just waiting for them to make a mistake. We got evidence, but we want to make sure. And I think they did. It took time to get the data back. It took time to go through all the bull crap that some of these people were calling and telling the police and everyone on YouTube and Facebook, and it didn't add up. And I think we're seeing the police do what they do. They're picking them dudes up. It's a known fact. I live all the way up north here. So this stuff has been on the news down in Delphi and Lafayette, and it's a college place out there down south and everything. Abby and Libby ain't the first girls that came up or dead out there. So it's a proven thing out there. And even up here, they're saying we got troubles up north here with the same crap that's going on down there. Some kind of a drug ring, prostitution, you name it. Guns and drugs and women. So would I believe it? Sure, I would. I don't know. I'm going to get some sleep. I'm going to take some. Where's my NyQuil? Oh. All right. So I just took a shot of NyQuil. Yeah. Man, yeah, this is just a crazy case. Just absolutely cuckoo. Just absolutely cuckoo. Do I think the police could have did a better job? Yeah, a little bit. But I think they already knew who it was, and I think they were already tracking these guys. They knew about Keegan Klein 12 days after the murder. So I imagine they were tracking them all. Probably tracking their phones, maybe, or whatever. Tracking Abby's phone or whatever. I don't know. But I think they're on the right track. Keep going. You know what? There's millions of these people in America. They keep letting them out and they keep doing the same crimes. Look at Greeno. They're saying he had 30 assaults or something, violent things or whatever, meth and drugs. You would never know that looking at him. The Evansdale killings. How similar are they to Abby and Libby? It's uncanny, ain't it? You can't make that up. I mean, is it a coincidence? I don't know. Same area, same layout. The Evansdale girls, were found in the same way. Same scenery, next to a river, in the woods and stuff, with similar MOs. And they were lured away from their homes. So that's just, and like I said, the police now want to know where uh, Tony Klein is. How do you not track though? All these guys are being watched. All of them. They got to be being watched. Every single one of these guys that came. They were saying it was Gray Hughes. Bridge guy was Gray Hughes. They were saying that bridge guy was Don Buckingham. Some of these videos I watched, now I don't know if that's true, but they were suspect. These are guys that have well-known channels that were actually suspects, that these other people were saying were suspects in the case. That is unbelievable. Now, either these people were all wrapped up into something, or it's just a coincidence that all these people were. In order to be a suspect like that or be questioned in a case like that, you would have to have a past that shows you're capable of doing something that hideous, that violent. And it ain't making sense to me that no one found the girls that night. They searched that whole area and they found nothing until the next day when they went back. They found them early afternoon or whatever. That's freaky. And they had thermal drones out there that seen nothing. Excuse me. I'm done with the caffeine. I had 4 or 5 cups of coffee today and 2 sodas. And that's it. I'm not drinking no more coffee after 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And I ain't drinking no more of this soda crap, or at least 1 soda. But I'll tell you what, it don't look good. And it's just fishy why they wouldn't give back Greeno's phone. Greeno had to go get a new phone. Now, is the story even true that Greeno's phone was taken and the killer called Greeno? We don't even know if that's true. Greeno might have destroyed his own phone and got a new one. We don't know. Till the police call us personally and say, hey, we took his phone and we're not giving it back for a reason. Or the police come out and say, we never took his phone. He was lying. And he lied about a lot of more things. Well, it ain't making sense, none of it. And when it don't make sense, you know what you do? You pick everybody up. I would have picked all these dudes up. That's what I would have done. I would have said, no, it ain't adding up, boys. Your little, I'm sorry to break up your little crime channels. I'm going on a pot. I be brain wigging, making me want to write songs with Black Bean Johnny. I do my best, Miss Dawkins. I do my best. I try and do my best on the guitar and singing. I'm glad you like it. So, what do we do? I don't know. Just keep waiting. We're really not going to know anything until the police close the case, or until the police release all the information. Crime scene photos, all the video. And a lot of people are pissed at me. I can't believe you. Sean Harmon was really pissed. You're a sicko wanting to see that. Well, the you can't solve a crime. I can listen to you idiots all day on the YouTube saying it was this, it was that, it was this, it was that. But until I see the proof of what happened and heard what happened, uh, I'm not going to believe anything these people say. Only the killer knows, and the police. I can listen to all these crime channels all day, sit there and say this, that, this is the way it happened. The girls weren't this, the girls weren't that. I don't know that. Why? Because I'm not looking at the crime scene photos. And there's something ain't adding up. If they got no crime scene photos to produce, there's no crime. It was all made up. Might have been a Walt Disney thing they were working on. Or something. You got to have evidence that there was a murder. You ain't going to solve nothing if you don't have the evidence. I can get up, like I said, I can listen to these guys all day. But until we see the actual proof of what happened at that crime scene, you're not going to solve nothing. And I could tell you this much. I got a gut feeling that it was more than one person that knew what was going on the day the girls were killed. You know, if it was one person, then they knew that place pretty good. And they knew what they were doing, and they knew what they came there to do. You know, now in the beginning of this case, there was 20 girls there. What happened to them 20 girls? Like I said before, did they kill two to cause a great diversion of the 20 girls that got kidnapped? You know, where's the young couple that was arguing before the girls were killed that were supposedly down by the bridge? Remember that report that someone made on a video? I watched it. That there was reports of a young couple, a man and either a teen, a couple. That would mean a man and a woman arguing before the murders. Where are they? Where's the 10 or 20 girls that Kelsey seen when she dropped Abby and Libby off there? Where are they? You know, this is a big thing. And that's why everybody is armed to the T. And we don't trust nobody because they're idiots. They're sickos. And I agree with, I don't agree with Uncle Ted about a lot of things, but I'll agree with him that some of these guys should have never walked out of the prison. That's just my opinion. No, a lot of these idiots are trying to pull slander. That's slander. You can't say, I can say whatever. The day that the police came out and questioned these gentlemen and they made videos that they were questioned about it, made them a suspect. I'm not trying to damage their their lives or their business. I'm not calling their jobs and hunting these people down and wrecking their lives. I'm only repeating what these idiots made in public view. Not a movie. And they're not like me that come up with a skit and say that was a happening or it's not real. These things are real that these people did. Them two girls killed is real from what they're saying. So, something ain't adding up in their stories. And it very well might be that the killer had connections with the police and it came to a halt. And now they're just trying to pin it on anyone. Does that happen? Sure does. Yeah, sure it does. Anything is possible in this case. That's why I'm not taking any of these people off of the table. Meaning they're all suspects. If not in the Delphi case, in other cases, in other cases. So, even Michael Catt made a video saying he was questioned on the Delphi case, which was kind of shocking to me, but that's what he said. Even he was questioned about it. Greeno said he was questioned about it and his phone was taken. Sean Harmon said he was questioned, but he wasn't questioned. He was the one that was calling the police, telling them it was his dad and all this and that and this and that. And it didn't make sense. I think that's why the police came out and said, we might have already talked to you or you might have been calling us. It wasn't adding up. All their stuff was. And then you got the videos of Sean Harmon saying Greeno used them. And then when Greeno got picked up or whatever, Sean Harmon made that video saying, well, he was trying to keep me to keep my mouth shut and all this. You know, that's what Sean Herman said. No one else. Sean Herman said he got used by Anthony Greeno and they cut some deal. Who knows what deal that was? What it was? Who knows? You know, and then they want to try and come out with slander. Nah, you boys are stupider. Your brains are fried. Completely fried from all the junk you've been snorting, smoking, and injecting in your brains. I don't know what's wrong with these dudes, but they're suspects. There ain't nobody trying to wreck their lives. They already did that. You know, this ain't someone trying to wreck their lives where they never work again. That's slander. You know, people saying you can't bring up people's names and they're innocent. Yeah, sure, they're innocent until guilty, but they're suspects. That ain't me saying that. That's the police. And if the police are saying they're suspects and they came out with all this stuff on public TV, well, internet, there ain't no slander in it. I'm not trying to wreck these people's lives. They already did that. You know? Heck, I hope Greeno gets his life straightened out, but I don't think Greeno's telling us the truth about things. I don't think any of these dudes are. They ain't going to come right out and say they slaughtered 2 girls. No, I just don't think that's going to happen, boys. And I'm kind of upset at Mr. Carter for even, we think he's got a little conscience. You think this idiot that slaughtered 2 girls, these idiots, because I have the feeling there's more than one that knew about this. If you think they got a conscience, I don't think so, sir. I really don't. Because they would have turned themselves in by now. You know, I don't think so. I think this guy's done it before. He's a sicko. Literally a sicko. Mental problems, brain fried from junk that he's been pumping in his brain, smoking, whatever. Total nut job. You know, these people are sickos. And it's a big group. I think it is. I think we lost a lot of time by looking for just one dude. It was many. You know, that's what Satan is. Many. The Legion, he's many. And that's what I'm thinking. I don't know. I mean, call me wrong. If I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. Then I'm wrong. Hello, Janessa P. Thanks for stopping in. I know I'm going to bed too. I just took a shot of NyQuil, so hopefully I wake up feeling great again tomorrow. Last night I took a shot of NyQuil. Woke up feeling good. All right. I'm hitting the bed. You know, but these people are not right in their heads, even if they don't have anything to do with the Delphi killings. Their records speak for themselves. Chadwell should never walk out of the jail again. Klein, all these guys got records of bad things. You know, Sean Harmon's on video saying that he slept with his 2 young cousins or whatever, experimented with them. You know, I'm like, what the F is going? You gotta be killed. Then he comes out and says the girls were penetrated with sticks, cut up, garbed. all kinds of stuff, the Kingston Trio or whatever they are. I'm you haven't kidding. The police haven't locked that guy up yet. Are you kidding me? Well, he claims the police know right where he's at. That the police know everything. Well, and he's still walking the streets. He's shooting up heroin on YouTube. Going into everyone's chat room and threatening them. Going on Facebook threatening people. He even came into my chat threatening me. He even made a video threatening me because I didn't buy his story. I just didn't buy it. I didn't buy none of their stories. What if Keegan Klein was a drug dealer and was a kiddie porn, and they were all passing these photos around and doing sick stuff to him? Well, we know Chadwell was. We know that for a fact. I'm going to need security around her. These people are nuts. These guys are they're all in the racket. Drugs, bikers, heroin. We're going to need security teams around me. No shit. I'm going to have to. We don't know if these dudes are calling hits from the inside, calling their heroin buddies or whatever. Their biker buddies or whatever. This is going to get ugly. We're going to need security. I'm going to need a drone. I'm going to need weapons, small arms. I might need a tank. I'm going to have to talk to Nugent. Maybe he can get me a tank. I'm not sure, but yeah, it's just, these dudes are nuts. I can't believe. I hope they're watching them. Carolyn Dawkins, thanks for stopping in. Janessa P, thanks for stopping in. Oh, Michelle K stopped in. I didn't even see it. Sorry, Michelle. Thanks for the coffee, but I can't drink no more. There's too much caffeine for me. I drank almost a pot of coffee today and 2 sodas, and this NyQuil should be kicking in any minute, and I'm out. That's it. I'm out. I'll be waking up tomorrow morning sometime. My problem is I don't sleep enough. Now that I'm not working and stuff, I don't sleep how I used to sleep when I was working. Go to bed early, wake up early. And what I mean by early is 12, 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning. Now I'm up till 4. This ain't working out, Dalton. Or no, this ain't working out, Wesley. I'm supposed to be Dalton. This ain't working out, Wesley. Sorry. And somebody shut that bridge down in Delphi. Can you guys do that? Can you at least do that? It is not safe for women and children to be out there by themselves. Can you do that, Delphi? Can you shut the bridge down? Can you do that? It's dilapidated anyways. Someone's going to die. No, someone's going to die going on that bridge. They're going to fall, an accident, something, fall through it, fall off of it, something. Do something with that bridge and quit having children. They're making videos. Come out. Come out. Come out to where these 2 incredible young ladies were killed. No, I'm not. Sicko. I'm not buying it. It ain't right. It ain't no place for children. and and it definitely ain't no place for young ladies to be by themselves with no supervision or no police out there. Why am I the only one saying this? Everybody else wants people to go out there, come out. Like they're selling tickets. Some of them have good intentions, but they're not, I'm watching some of these people, their spirits are still there. Yeah, well, I don't want to go to a place where two young girls' spirits are. The Bible says you're not supposed. I don't. Geez, I can't deal with these people. Nuts else. All right. Good night, folks. Pterodactyl Dawkins. Thanks for stopping. Is it pterodactyl? Oh, it's Terralyn. Is it Terralyn? Terralyn. Janessa P. Thanks for stopping in. Michelle K. Nice to see you, Michelle. Thanks for the coffee. That was nice of you. Who else? Bendejo. And whoever else stopped in that I didn't see. Thanks for stopping in. Things ain't adding up. And don't be sending your kids out there, folks. My God. Not unless there's a supervisor out there or a police officer walking around. Pterodactyl. My name is Tara. All right, Tara Lynn. Tara Lynn. I'm sorry, I don't have my glasses on. Tara Lynn Dockin. Okay. Really? Lynn. My middle name. My daughter set that up like that. Tara Lynn. Oh, no. Well, forgive me, okay? No, they have called me pterodactyl. you want that pterodactyl money, don't you? It's like me. I want my Indian money. I want my slave money. I want all my everything. I like it. Call me baby. What? Call you pterodactyl? I don't know. We'll pick this up tomorrow. I gotta get some sleep. It's almost 4:00 in the morning. Yeah, I am a dinosaur, but they tax me. They tax us all. They tax us all. All right. Is there anything else you folks want to know? That's just my opinion. I think all these people are suspects in some way. Some way these people were connected to that murder. All these people have been picked up. The Kurtz, the Cars, the Kleins, the Greenos, the Harmons or whatever. Who knows what these people. They've all been named suspects. I don't know. And if Greeno was wanted and he didn't turn himself in and people were helping him evade the police, there was a video out that came out today saying that them people can be charged with crimes that were trying to help Greeno run. And I was telling people that these folks can be charged with helping a fugitive evade the laws. Thank God I changed my life 20 something years ago, 30 years ago. Thank God. Thank you, Father, for them. Thank God. These people think, nah, there ain't no law like that. You can't. Yeah, you can get in trouble for that. Just kidding. Don't call you pterodactyl, or don't call you baby. Call you baby pterodactyl? Pterodactyl baby? I don't know, maybe. Your name's Tara, though. I'll just call you Tara. How about Miss Dawkins? Is that all right? I'll call you Miss Dawkins. It's probably one of these crime channels and using an alt. It's probably Harmon Greeno, or that's another thing. Greeno's in prison, but making video calls from prison. Still making videos. Greeno's in prison. He is? Sure is. And he's still making YouTube videos. Huh? He's still making YouTube videos. No, we like to be lenient with our prisoners. You know, I don't know. These guys live like king. It's no wonder they get out and they commit a crime because they go right back into 5-star hotels. They got everything we got on the outside. Greeno's supposedly, from what they're saying, in prison, and he's making YouTube videos. He's probably photobombing police. How does that kid do it? I don't know. Crazy kid. I don't know. These people. I don't know how these people get away. I don't know. And you know what I told him? It was like Ernie's show. Ernie, if you're not a professional bounty hunter and you're not a professional tracker, then come out and say that it's a skit and you're just doing it to try and get publicity out for missing kids. But Ernie show, the more I watch him, I'm like, this dude's a stalker. There's one thing between something and something else, but he ain't acting right. Excuse me. How'd he get himself wrapped up into this crap? I don't know. I have no idea how he did. I don't know how any of these dudes did. But I would suggest police releasing what they have. I'd keep working on these idiots. Do I think Delphi guy's standing in Delphi? No. He might have. He might have been the only fool that stuck around. And that tipped off the police that this idiot should be running around. But he's supposedly a native of Delphi. Well, a lot of these guys were. You know, even Harmon said he was in Indiana for a long time. But then all of a sudden he disappeared. Everyone was like, where's he at? He took off somewhere. He might still be in Indiana telling people he's in Kentucky. Who knows? He does have access to people that drive him around. He could be right here in Indiana and drive down to Kentucky. What's that, a 14-hour drive? Be down there, take a video. Here, I'm in Kentucky. And then you don't see him for a couple days. And he's back at home. And, these YouTubers have to take that in consideration. Greeno posted something the other day. He was out in the sun in Florida. I'm out here in Florida, guys, doing time or whatever. They took him out of Florida, and supposedly from what they're saying, which I don't know if that's true or not, but so he's supposedly in Delphi. I don't know, because I don't pry into these. I ain't got time to track these idiots. I don't make enough money. Scientology. I'm thinking the church might have a hand in some of these things that are going on, or people that have, you know, gone to church a lot. I don't know. We'll see. Boy, it looks like a full moon tonight. All right, I'm going to bed. Thanks for stopping in, everybody. God bless everybody. And I hope Doug Carter solves this case pretty soon. But there's even people saying Doug Carter looks suspicious. There's even people saying that one of the sheriffs looks like Bridge Guy. This is a crazy case. Thank God I don't want anything to, I don't hang around with people that are like that. So, and I ain't going to start. So, I don't know. Yeah, all I know is this is bad times for Indiana. I could tell you that. Very bad times for Indiana. I don't know. I'm going to bed. Thanks for everyone for stopping in. And remember, these are my theories. And I'm not slandering any of these dudes. These dudes did it themselves on camera. Nobody made Sean Harmon say the things he did or shoot heroin on camera or attack people. Nobody made Anthony Greeno do the things he did. Nobody made any of these creators do anything that they didn't want to do unless they were paid or coerced into it. That's just my opinion. It ain't slander. We're not trying to wreck their lives and go to their jobs and call their credit unions and, we're just repeating what they said themselves. Good night, Pterodactyl. Janessa P. and Michelle K. Bendejo. Did I miss anybody? I don't think so. That's it. I wasn't even on top chat. I'm slacking. Good night, everybody. Remember, have an open mind. Even with the Summer Wells case, it ain't adding up. The Summer Wells case, same thing. I think these people something's up, folks. Please keep an eye on your children. Keep an eye on my kids. How about we keep an eye on all kids? How about I don't know. I'm going to bed. Thanks for stopping in. And remember, this is only my opinions, my theories. I'm not trying to slander these people. Their information is already out. They made videos about it. There ain't nothing, and then they want to, no. Slander don't work that way. It don't work that way. I don't know. Either these people's minds are messed up on hallucinogenics, heroines, and meth, and crack or cocaine or whatever, or they just are that naive or to think people are going to believe. I don't know. You folks have a good night. Be safe.